Good evening. Welcome to the December 7th, 2020 meeting of the Zoning Subcommittee of the Revere City Council. Madam Clerk, want to call the roll, please?
Sure. Roll call of the members. Councilor Janino. Councilor Janino is absent. Councilor Guanasso. Councilor Janino is here. Councilor Guanasso.
Here.
Here. Councilor Morbido.
Here.
Here. Councilor Visconti.
Here.
Here. Councilor Keefe.
Here.
Here. And Chairman Zambudo.
Here.
Here. Quorum is present. First item on the agenda is Council Order 20-358. This is an ordinance further amending the zoning ordinances of the City of Revere relative to kennels.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Ashley, can you hear me?
Yes, Larry, you're all set. We're on the
Okay.
kennel ordinance first.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
So, I'm not sure any of my colleagues have anything to add to what we're doing here. Obviously, it's a simple change of the zoning ordinance where the distance no longer applies when there's when it's separated by a highway. So that's basically what's going on here. Anybody have any comments or anything they want to add? Councilor
Chairman.
Guanasso.
Mr. Chairman, I have absolutely no question that this is the right ordinance and the right correction. I think what you've stated adequately was that the highway divides the premises and there aren't any residential areas near it. So I think this ordinance is well in hand, and I will be voting favorably for it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
You broke up, Counselor?
Anyone else? Hearing none.
Broke up,
Oh, did I break up? I apologize. Anyone, any other councilors have anything to add? Ash, can you hear me?
Yes, you're all set, Counselor.
Oh. All right, so I guess we'll have a roll call.
Sure. And it should be noted that this did receive a favorable recommendation from the planning board. On the ordinance amendment relative to kennels, Counselor Janino.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Morbido.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, and Chairman Zambudo. Yes, Chairman Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, this will receive a favorable recommendation from the committee and be forwarded to the full city council.
Thank
Next
you.
item on the agenda is Council Order 20-373. This is a zoning map amendment on the application of Squire Road Realty LLC seeking to change number 398 Squire Road Lot A from residential B to the general business district.
Councilor
Mr. Chairman?
Attorney Simeoni, please.
Okay. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, as you know, we had a public hearing on this matter, and essentially I represent Squire Road Realty LLC. Darren Maggio is the manager. Seeks a zoning map change in accordance with 1712-10 through 30. Specifically, the lot, which has been marked Exhibit A, Exhibit number 1 in your application package, is 5,731 square feet. It's located in the RB and GB districts. It's improved by a 2-family and a garage. The garage is located in the GB district and the 2-family is located in the RB district. The home and the garage were built approximately 1989. In 1981, most of the land looked like on the zoning map would have been general business back then. So it's a split lot, each district having frontage on Squire Road. We've asked that you allow the lot to be general business in its entirety. It will allow for uniform zoning. It will also allow my client to use the 2-family, which touches on literally both districts, to be used as a 3-family using a basement apartment, while at the same time offering safeguards that I've talked to the ward councilman about and I've referenced in my previous discussion with you. And that would be a restrictive covenant on the property, which would only allow the 3-family multifamily use and no longer allow any commercial use on this premises, which is really the last commercial lot on the Squire Road strip. So again, I've submitted to you, Mr. Chairman. Of course, I've had several discussions with Councilor Sereno. We've got some language that I've proposed. I've actually drafted the whole restrictive covenant and send it to the ward councilman. But for tonight's vote, I was thinking that you just might want to know the words of the restrictive covenant to go along with your vote. And so I've given them to Ashley. If you want me to read them into the record, whatever suits the chairman.
Ashley, you want to read them into the record, please? You're muted. You're on mute.
I actually haven't received the language from Attorney Simeoni via email.
He can read them.
All right, I'll read it. I did try to get it to Ashley today as well as you. I think the other day, Mr. Chairman. But the restrictive language, having gone over with the ward council, is the restriction itself would say that the land as hereinafter described shall be used for residential purposes, which shall include the right to construct and have a multifamily dwelling, which shall not consist of more than 3 dwelling units. Further, that the land shall not be used for commercial purposes. No commercial structure shall be constructed, placed, or in any manner on the land as hereinafter described. Ashley, if they got all that, that's great. If they didn't, I can. I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Ashley, you're muted.
Sorry about that. If you could just email that to me, Counselor, I can just add that to the order if this is approved in front of the full city council. And
Okay.
further, the planning board had recommended that this deed restriction be put in place as well.
Thank you. Austin, any questions the chairman may have or any member? Thank you.
My apologies. I had a call I had to take. I apologize. Okay, I'm at a disadvantage here now. Ash, you're gonna help.
I finished my speech and Ashley said that she wants me to send it in writing relative to the condition, and I'm done. So it's on any questions you may and your honorable body may have.
Okay, any of my colleagues have any comments they want to add? Councilor Guanasso.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have known the Maggio family for several years. I know them to be outstanding people in our community, long-term people in our community who have invested in our community with not only a business, but also with property. And all the properties they do own, they maintain very well, very friendly with his mother and dad. So, and I think with Darren Maggio makes a commitment, he will honor that. And I look forward to voting favorably for this proposal.
Any other councilors?
Mr. Chairman?
Councilor Sereno, I'll break from the tradition here. Go ahead, since it's your ward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to thank the Maggio family and Attorney Simeoni for working on this covenant. I truly feel that now Stevens Street, which is where it's at the intersection of Squire Road and Stevens Street, is protected with this language, and no major apartment building or anything, any commercial could go there in the future. So I'm okay with it now that we have that deed restriction, and I thank everyone for coming to that agreement. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. We'll go back to the committee now. Any other committee members? Councilor Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certainly will be supporting this this evening, and for several reasons. The first being that Anthony Maggio was a long time, if not a lifelong resident of this city. He operated several businesses. I don't know if anybody would remember Maggio's Restaurant and where the old Bayside Club was. This is, as the attorney alluded to, this is probably the last piece of property on Squire Road that is not zoned in that manner. So again, I think I know I will be supporting this evening based on the fact that anything that the Maggios have done in the city has always been right to perfection. They've always kept their word. They've always done what was supposed to be have done. And I certainly, again, will be supporting this. Thank you. Hello?
Thank you, Counselor. Anybody else? Okay, I think we're ready for a vote on this with the deed restriction.
Sure. So shall the committee approve the change of zoning from RB to GB on Lot A at 398 Squire Road, subject to the deed restriction? Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Visconti?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Keefe?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes, this received a favorable recommendation, which will be forwarded to the full city council this evening.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is Council Order 20-375, special permit application of Stephen R. Caruso, seeking permission to operate a commercial automotive storage parking business for 910 vehicles on Lot 14 at 320 Chargers.
Attorney Simeoni.
Evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, President, and Ward Councilman Sereno. My name is Attorney Larry Simeoni, and I represent RNS Trust, Stephen R. Caruso trustee. As we stated in the public hearing on November 23rd, that we're seeking a special permit to operate a commercial automotive storage and parking facility in accordance with 17-16-040, the table of uses, and 1708-165, definition of this particular use. Property, as identified as Exhibit A in the application, is Lot 14, Charger Street. It's 8.5 acres located in the Technological Enterprise District. It has 2 non-conforming structures and 2 existing non-conforming uses. Those are Northgate Recycling, which has been in existence since a special permit was granted by the Honorable City Council in 1998. It runs an asphalt, brick, and concrete facility, a recycling facility in accordance with 1708-651. And there's also Caruso Corporation, a road construction company, which has been there since 1975, also a non-conforming use. Road construction is defined under 1708-651. They've been there since 1975. So Area A is the focus of the storage lot. Area A is 5 acres. And that is what we discussed with the council and showed on the plans. This 5 acres will be the principal location for the parking storage area. The project itself is a 910 space project as defined under the plans. I do have with me tonight Rick Salvo of Engineering Alliance, who will answer any questions and anything relative to the plans or any type of aspect of wetlands or whatever. Rick is here to answer your questions. But looking at this project will be done in phases. Phase 1 of the 5 acre project will have 3 acres, wherein the recycling facility will remove itself. That area of the property will be developed and subsequently used as the storage lot. We anticipate that Mr. Caruso and the individual providing the land for Avis will have this done by July of 2001. The second phase is over the next year. Again, Northgate Recycling will basically no longer be in operation. It will take, over that year, it'll take time, slowly but surely getting to the point where it will no longer be in existence. The 2 acres will be brought up to code with paving, drainage, and orders of conditions. And that remaining 2 acres will be the completion of the project, a 5-acre project. The remaining 3.5 acres on the 8.5 acre lot identified as lot 14, parcel 14, will have the existing uses of Caruso Construction and some office work. Any wetlands that have been identified on this property will not be part of any project, will not be part of the storage lot, and will not be used in any way for commercial purposes. As far as the lot itself, Mr. Caruso and RNS Realty will be dealing with what I'll call as a property provider. These are individual corporations that buy property and provide it to Avis as one of the many national rent-a-cars who lease the premises. So Avis will be leasing the premises from that property provider. Avis's leases tend to be long-term leases, and Avis controls the site once it becomes a tenant. These leases tend to be 10 years or more. Avis will be given a pad-ready site by Mr. Caruso and the provider. Avis will use the storage facility simply to supplement the Avis Logan location, which has approximately 6,000 cars in its fleet. There'll be, as I noted in the public hearing, there'll be 5 employees there around the clock at this facility in Revere. There'll be security. The large blocks that you saw surrounding the premises will be brought in to surround the automobile parking lot. There'll also be fencing, lighting, and additional security. I can't say there's enough. There's no public that comes in and out of this facility. This facility services the private car needs of Avis Logan. It is not a place where someone can pick up a car or enter it. It's not a place for the public at large. The operation hours are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Avis anticipates that the 900 cars, when it rotates through a full year, it will have registered approximately 1,500 cars, paying excise tax to the city of Revere, approximately $750,000. As far as some of the operational issues that we heard from some people and the ward councilman at meetings with us has raised, I'm going to try to touch on those. The way cars come into this facility are delivered from this facility. Essentially, new cars are picked up from the manufacturer at the Port of Boston by an independent car carrying company. These car carriers can, I believe it's 9 to 10 cars each time they pick up and deliver. They only use main roads. We have indicated to the site plan review committee that we have no intention of using any side roads, much the same as discussions with Amazon. So we have made a commitment that we'll only use from the Port of Boston highways down Squire Road and then onto Charger Street, which is located in the area where this facility is, along with other Caruso properties and apartment buildings and the storage facility. So there'll be no use of Charger Street from Malden to Squire Road. So there'll be absolutely no truck or use by our facility, the Avis facility, for that strip of property. That is part of condition number 6. That is presented by the site plan review committee. Condition number 5 of the site plan review committee is that we will present a traffic study for review by the site plan review committee. I would indicate that probably will be used in a variety of different ways by Mr. Stringy and his members to analyze traffic impact. The site plan review committee has given you 6 recommendations. I can tell you that my client has no problem with any of them and will comply should the council grant the special permit. Finally, the other type of delivery we have to this facility or other type of traffic going in and out of this facility are individual car shuttlers. I'm told by Avis directly that the car shuttlers usually are used in a couple of different circumstances. These car shufflers usually drive the car shuttle back and forth from Avis Logan for two particular reasons. One is if the car has reached its expiration time, I believe it's like 30,000 miles, it must leave the fleet and go to auction. The other time it leaves the Logan terminal would be if it needed repairs. So individuals who work for Avis, get in the car, drive it to the lot for those two purposes, i.e. in preparation for auction or in preparation for repairs. The last thing that they would be shuttling cars from Logan to this lot would be for overflow. As I told you the last time we talked, this is a very cyclical business. You know, cars are brought in early to staff, if you will, Avis Logan, and also the lot. That's where you'll have about 900 cars. Those cars then during the season are out being rented. I've been told, and that our lot here in Revere probably will have no cars in it at the peak season. But when that peak season comes to an end, at the same time, all the cars that are out rented come back in, and they create an overflow for Avis Logan. That overflow will be supplemented by this lot. There'll be no deliveries of cars overnight. So again, that is a prohibition that we've agreed to and will go by, comply to, although it's not a special permit condition. I'm sure that will be taken care of by Ward Councilman Sereno. And again, the transfer of cars will not happen unless it's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I can tell you with respect to the individual shuttlers back and forth for Avis, they probably will use non-peak hours. It just makes good sense. It's the use of our own personnel. So it's very unlikely that they'll be doing it anytime outside that 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's the independent car carriers that Avis has to work with, just as every other major rent-a-car has to deal with. And those individuals, they are in great demand during these peak periods, and we will, through Avis Logan, do the best we can to stay within that parameters of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mr. Chairman, if you have any questions as to the plan or any questions as to this facility, I'd be glad to answer them. And again, I remind you that I have Rick Salvo here who has plans and can answer any questions respecting our need for permitting for the Conservation Commission or the design of the parking lot and so forth. Thank you.
Okay, I'll open this up to my colleagues. Councilman McKenna, you've got your hand up, so I'll let you go first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Larry, the last time we met on this, I asked if we could do something with the lighting because we abut a marsh and light pollution can affect wildlife that's in the wetlands. So I was asking if we could do maybe a shade on the lighting so the lighting doesn't protrude into the wetlands.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to Councilor McKenna. Historically, when people present this type of commercial lighting to the site plan review committee, Mr. Stringy and his members require a specific type of light that tilts into the facility. I expect that Mr. Stringy will expect that from Avis, and the Caruso people. So if somewhere along the line, you'd like to add that as a condition, I don't have a problem with that, but that's something that the Site Plan Review Committee has historically done to protect neighbors. I don't know if they've ever done it to protect the wetlands, but that would be a good reason to.
Thank you.
Any other councilors? Council President Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to mention, as we have all, I think we all had an opportunity to go down and take a look at the site. I frequent that neighborhood. I think we all shop at Market Basket, but I also go to the gym that's right near that site on the back of Charger Street. And so I spent one morning there in the gym parking lot rather than going into the gym. And I watched, there's a lot of heavy trucking that goes in and out of that area. Obviously that, you know, unless you paid attention to it, you really never noticed. And I think for a lot of us, it was the first time on that site. I can't imagine that this wouldn't be I can imagine that this would be a much better suit for that desolate area back there. The heavy trucking that currently exists is probably much more, has a much greater effect in the neighborhood than moving cars in occasionally. So I plan on being in support of this. Obviously, I always err on the side of the caution with the counselor of the ward, and but I would think that this is going to be a benefit to the neighborhood from what's currently existing. And then, of course, you can't ignore the excise revenue that would be a benefit to the city. So I'd be in support. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any of my colleagues? So,
Mr. Chairman,
Council Sereno.
thank you. If there aren't any other members of the committee that wish to go first,
No, go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as the ward counselor, I've really dug into this issue a lot over the last few weeks, and I've gone to the site a couple of times, and I've spoken with residents. I've met with Attorney Simeoni, representatives from Avis, Mr. Caruso, and what I've come up with, like I said at the last meeting, my biggest concern were cars traveling and trucks going down Charger Street, and then the residential side of Charger Street heading up toward Malden Street, as well as just traffic in general. And what I've come to realize after my conversations with them, number one, I'm thrilled that that they're not going to be using residential streets. It actually doesn't make sense for them to use residential streets if they're going to and from Boston. They would hop right on Squire Road anyway and come Squire Road. But that being said, I also we had talked about the car carriers coming in. And from what I understand, in terms of daily trips, approximately 10 car carriers per day, 8 to 10 car carriers per day would be going onto the site. So that's, you take at the highest, that's 10 trips of the trucks, of the car carriers. And then in the peak season, possibly up to approximately 100 to 150 cars leaving per day on the site. Those are from the car shufflers. But when we say about 100 to 150 cars per day, it's not a parade. And Mr. Simeoni, I think you might be able to speak on this a little bit. It's not a parade of cars that we're talking about. It would be over the course of an entire day. So when you consider that, and we consider that this is the TED district, I went back to the zoning table of uses. Obviously, this requires a special permit for a commercial parking lot, but by right, Mr. Caruso can keep what he has there right now, which is what he said he would likely do if we denied this. You could also put an office building or an office park, a hospital or a healthcare center with doctor's offices, a general manufacturing plant. All of these uses, my point is, what he can do by right, if we're talking traffic, this is actually a very benign move, because a lot of those other uses would actually create more trips generate more trips going in and out. So all of that being said, I do support this, and I thank Attorney Simeoni and the Dulac brothers and Mr. Caruso. And if residents continue to have questions or concerns, I'm here. The Dulac brothers, who are going to be running the Avis shop, are there, and we can deal with issues as they arise. But I truly don't see any issues, and I do think that this is a lot better than what's happening there now. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Sereno. Do I have any other colleagues that want to speak? If not, I'll take a minute here myself.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
thank you.
go right ahead, Councilor Janino.
Thank you,
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Chairman. One thought a resident brought up to me that was a great idea is, when you rent a car and you're in the airport, you're charged a surcharge, an airport surcharge. So perhaps down the line, if these cars are being rented to residents in the city of Revere, Revere's getting the excise taxes, everything's registered to the city. Maybe there's something that we can work out to help Revere residents in terms of that extra charge if they are renting from the airport. So just an idea and something maybe we can discuss further down the line.
Well, we'll discuss it later. However, we do get the $10 surcharge per contract does still go to help pay the police station. So I know that we lost a lot of that revenue when we lost all the rent cars to the airport. However, we picked up some of it at the Thrifty site for airport parking. Of course, at this time, this COVID time, we're not getting the kind of revenue we want out of it. But this particular use will generate a substantial amount of money, and perhaps we can look to supplement some of the losses in the future. But hopefully, that whole industry is going to come back and we'll be whole here. So, but what I was going to say, if there's no one else, is that, any of these zoning relief issues, be it before the Zoning Board of Appeals or before us for a special permit, the deciding factor is always supposed to be, is it less detrimental to the neighborhood? Well, I think it's been established, especially with all the work that Councilor Sereno did as the ward council, that this is a much better use. 10, at best, at most 10 car carriers a day is a lot better than the heavy trucking that's going in there for the stone crushing at this time, or the concrete crushing, whatever you call that use. And more importantly, the potential $750,000 in excise tax is music to my ears. So it's definitely a better use. And, for all the residents that were concerned about traffic, I think it's easily stated that this is a less offensive use than what's there at this point. Now, I see that we have the site consultant here, and he's a very well-respected gentleman. Rick Sell, if you want to add anything to this, you're welcome before we vote for it. Rick?
I think Larry summed it right up. So I was hoping to make it through without having to say anything, but I'm happy to answer any questions if anything comes up.
Anytime you're in my meeting, sir, you're not going to get away without saying something, even if it's just one.
Roll call.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Council, yeah.
I want to make it.
Attorney.
I just want to note that there will be licensing fees. We'll have to go to the Revere Licensing Commission for this facility. So another, I think it's $200, $300 per car.
Wonderful.
As well as, needing to go through the Conservation Commission process, which will be headed up by Rick to make sure that the facility meets all the state and federal guidelines for environmental protection.
And don't forget the diffused lighting for Council McKenna.
Absolutely will not.
Okay. All right. So I think we're ready to, is anybody else have anything?
Roll call, please.
Okay, because we're running out of time and we got to get into Council Guanasso's meeting soon. Madam Clerk, you want
On the
to,
special permit, subject to the conditions of site plan review, Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Morbido.
Yes.
Voting yes, Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Yes, and Chairman Zambudo.
yes.
Yes, the special permit will be forwarded to the full city council with a favorable recommendation.
Ashley?
Yes,
We submitted to you our proposed findings of facts, and will they be integrated into the approval?
Yes, we can read those during the regular meeting during the vote. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
And next
So-
up is Council Order 20-379. This was a petition from National Grid. I was emailed today by Vinny Loguadice, and he said that they no longer need this petition and will be withdrawing.
Great. So that concludes the zoning subcommittee for December 7th, 2020. I thank you all for your participation, and we'll move right into the appointment subcommittee, I think. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, whenever you're ready, the appointment subcommittee is ready to go.
Sure. Do you want a roll call of the members?
Yes, please. I'd like to.
Roll call of the members of the appointment subcommittee. Councilor Janino?
Here.
Here. Councilor McKenna?
Here.
Here. Councilor Powers? Councilor Powers?
Here.
Councilor Powers is here. Okay. Oh, I lost my sheet. Councilor Visconti?
Here.
Here. Councilor Keefe?
Here.
Here. And Chairman Guinasso.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before us, we have 14 appointees before the appointment subcommittee. I'm taking them a little bit out of order based on the fact that we have 2 participants who will be using a telephone. The first being 20-389, appointment of Kathy Penn to the Planning Board. Madam Clerk, can you get Kathy Penn on the phone?
She is here.
As I'm going to ask all of the appointees, just give a brief description of what you would like to do when appointed, and we'll take it from there. Kathy?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry, I'm not a Zoomer. I don't know how to Zoom. What would you, Catherine Penn, 382 Ocean Ave.
Okay, can you just tell us a brief summary of what you have intentions of and when being a member of the planning board?
I'll be honest, I'm not that familiar with what they do, but it won't take me long. I'll attend all the meetings and do whatever is necessary. Oh, this will be in effect like with the Suffolk Downs project. There'll be things for the planning board there. And so I'll do what needs to be done.
Okay, I'm sure you'll do that. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? John Powers, Councilor Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I couldn't help but comment to myself with regard to Kathy Penn's remarks. She has a tremendous knowledge of city government and how it works, having served in city government. And I don't think she'll have any problem whatsoever as a member of the planning board. In fact, I look forward to her appointment, and I know she'll be a pleasant person and a breath of fresh air to the planning board. Thank you very much,
Thank
Kathy.
you, Councilor. Any other members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Councilor Morabito.
I'm not on the subcommittee. Are there any other subcommittee members that would?
Any members wishing to speak? Councilor Morabito.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to just speak on behalf of all the 14, well, not on behalf of them, but I'm going to speak about all 14 right now. For the most part, I've had the privilege of meeting each and every one of these appointees in the past. And I think I'm going to start off with Catherine Penn, former city councilor. She was actually Ward 2 city councilor when I grew up in the Shirley Ave area, as well as her husband, Dickie Penn. And so I think her experience as a city council member and just goes a long way. So I think she'll be fine. She'll acclimate to the planning board easily. But with everyone else, I think if looking at their resume and knowing them personally, I think they'll be a good fit. So I'm in favor of all the appointees tonight.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other councilors wishing to speak? Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think this is a great appointment. I've known Kathy all my life, literally. And she did a great job in the city council. And she knows the game. She knows what has to be done. And I know she'll be doing the right thing. So thank you. Good luck, Kathy.
I also would like to echo the comments that Kathy Penn has been a longtime friend, and her husband, Richard. I've enjoyed their friendship and their comfort together as friends. I certainly think that she'll be a tremendous asset to the community. And I know Kathy very, very well. She'll speak her piece and she'll let it be known. And the best interest of the people will be represented by her presence on the planning board. Congratulations, Kathy. I'm going to ask for a roll call from the members of the appointment subcommittee, and we'll go from there. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
And Council President Keefe. Absent. Okay, we will vote this
Councilor
out
Grasso,
favorably.
apologies. I had to jump off. My apologies. I'm back on. Yes.
We will vote
Thank
this
you.
out favorably to the community of the whole, the council of the whole. The next is the appointment 20-385. Appointment of Brian Vesey to the Disability Commission. And Brian's another one who's going to be joining us by telephone. When you pick up the phone, Brian, just give us your name and address for the record, please, and give us a brief presentation as what you're going to do on the Disability Commission.
First of all, thank you, members of the council, and thank you, Councilor Granasso. I'm a lifelong resident of Revere. I was a former ward councilor, and after you know me well, I love Revere. I want to participate in the city of Revere. I want to do whatever it takes to keep Revere what I truly believe is everything. I'm a diehard Revere guy, and I just like to help out on disabled, as you know, and I believe I can help out. And I want to help the administration and the council, and I want to give back to Revere because I truly love this place, and I want to do what I can to help out.
Thank you very much, Brian, for those wonderful, kind words. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Councilor Janino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to speak in favor of this appointment. You know, without even a title, Brian is always going out of his way to help those in the community that are in need and to be a voice for people that feel left out of the conversation. So I am in full support of his appointment, and I wish Brian the best of luck. I know he'll be a great addition to the Disabilities Commission.
Thank you. Council Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Once again, this is another great appointment, as was Ms. Penn. This was a gentleman that I had the pleasure of sitting beside when he was a city councilor. I had the pleasure of observing his votes on different matters, and I think almost on every single case of any consequence that he was voting on behalf of the citizens of the city of Revere. And I look forward to seeing him once again in city government, serving on the planning board. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Disability Commission.
Disability? Okay. Either or, he'll do a great job.
Any other members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? President Keefe.
Thank you. I'll be brief. I know that Brian mentioned how much he loves the city and he's willing to, always wants to participate. I totally agree with that. He is a great person and he'll represent him well. I know he'll fit him well with the group there. Mr. Vesey, I just want to tell you that, let me know when I know between myself or Ralph and some others, we're going to teach you how to use Zoom. You'll be good on it. Okay.
Thank you, Councilor Keefe. No,
thank you, Councilor. Thank you, sir.
I'm deeply
Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm kind of at a loss. I didn't get a chance to jump in with Kathy. Obviously, Kathy Penn has spent a lifetime of service to Revere, and she'll certainly do well on the planning board, and I wish her luck. But Brian's a friend of a million years here, and he bleeds Revere, and I think whatever he's participating in Revere, he's going to give 100% of himself. And so I'm thrilled that the administration saw fit to appoint him to a very important board, the Disability Commission. So good luck, Brian. Thank you.
Councilor Visconti.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to wish Mr. Vesey the best of luck there. I think it's a great selection, and I think he'll do a great job. So he is very sensitive to the needs of people in Revere, and like I said, great selection. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other councilors wishing to speak? Councilor Novoselsky.
Oh.
You're muted, Councilor.
Here we go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this is a great choice. Brian did a great job when he was in the Ward 3 councilor, and he always looked out for the disabled at the time, and it would be good continuing on the Commission on Disability. Good luck, Brian. Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.
Any other councilors wishing to speak? Well, I certainly echo the comments of everybody. Brian's been a longtime friend and certainly a able public servant. He's a very dedicated to the community, and he really does love Revere. So we wish you the best of luck in working Commission on Disability, and I know this is a good appointment by the mayor. Roll call. Councilor Janino. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Congratulations. We'll be
Ira,
voting
I wanted to
this evening.
speak and Guanasso shut me off.
Excuse me, I didn't shut anybody off.
You have to raise your hand, please, Ralph.
My video went
Raise
off
hand
and I
function.
tried raising my hand before we finished that. It said the person muted me and took me off, the host. I did raise my hand.
I'm not in charge of it. It's the
The-
council clerk.
Ralph, I was controlling it and the blue hand
Okay.
wasn't raised. I'll add your video right now.
No, I accept your apology, Ralph. Ralph?
I just wanted to talk before before the vote was taken on that.
Okay. Give us.
I just, as the chair of the Commission on Disabilities, I have no problem with the appointment, but by the bylaws, I just wanted to make sure that any member that's appointed to the Commission on Disabilities has to have a family member or themselves has to have a disability. So I didn't see any application. I've seen it for the other two members, but I didn't receive anything on that one. So I just wanted to make sure.
All right, we'll note that. Okay, thank you for your comment. We will vote this out favorably by the committee, and we will, if there's any other further information that's required and necessary, I'm sure we'll contact you, Brian, for further updates. Next is 20. Excuse me, go ahead.
Thank you, members of the council, and I didn't know that, but I am 100% disabled. And
Okay,
I just want to thank everyone, and I want to thank Ralph DeChico, and I'm looking forward to work along with him. And whatever he needs for help, I'm going to be there. And I
Okay,
want to thank
you.
Nick.
Thank you very much. Next is
Okay.
20-386, appointment of Toby Pearlstein to the Library Board of Trustees. Is Toby available?
I am.
Just give us a little brief description as what's going to take place when you're, what your ideas are in the library.
Sure. My name is Toby Pearlstein. I live at 67 Bradstreet Avenue in Beechmont. I'm almost a lifelong resident of the city and have been in Beechmont for about 30 years. I grew up on Shirley Avenue. I'm a retired global director of research for a private consulting firm, but also have experience in public libraries. I have used the Revere Public Library almost my entire life and feel that I can contribute quite a bit of my expertise to ensure that it continues to serve the city. It's a vital service, and I'd like to do anything I can to make sure that it continues and contributes.
Terrific. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am definitely in favor of this appointment. I think Toby, you'll be a great asset to the Board of Trustees for the library. Thank you.
Any other members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Well, Toby, it looks like everybody's favorable for you, and I'll take a roll call and congratulations.
Counselor Novoselsky has his hand raised.
Councilor Novoselsky, you got to move your hand a little bit over because I can't hardly see your hand when you wave it up. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this is a great appointment. Toby has been for many years very involved in the Historical Society building on 108 Beach Street. And she is the biggest asset that they've had. I'm sure she will be a large asset at the public library, knowing her history and her experience, everything she does. And I literally grew up with her. Her mother was my den mother in the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, I'm sorry. And she was great as a kid. She always helped out, and I'm sure she'll be helping out more at the library beside the Historical Society. Thank you very much. Good luck, Toby.
Thank you, Councilor. Chair asks for a roll call. Roll call, Councilor Janino,
Yes.
Councilor McKenna,
Yes.
Councilor Powers,
Yes.
Councilor Visconti,
Yes.
Council President Keefe,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Congratulations, Toby. Do a good job for our kids and our adults at the library. Next is 20-387, appointment of Deborah Guimaraes to the Cultural Council. Is Deborah available?
Yes, 1 second.
Deborah, if you're here, can you just, oh, there we go.
Yes. Hi, so I'm Deborah Guimaraes. I live at 50 Mountain Avenue, Revere. I have been a Revere resident for the past 13 years. I work at Revere Cares, and my placement is at Revere High School, where I run programs for in the after-school settings. I'm also president of a Brazilian nonprofit organization that we serve first-generation students, helping them to apply to college. So my desire to be part of this Cultural Council is to help the city to reestablish this council again and help educating our beautiful community about the huge diversity that we have in our city, promoting events that can bring us together, because I believe diversity can only add to the city and make Revere, a really nice place to live.
That's great. Thank you. Any other members of the council, the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none, I wish you well. I think you're going to do a good job. You certainly have the right idea in mind to serve our community, and we wish you the best. I'll ask for a roll call in this position, and we'll vote it out favorably this evening. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Voted out favorably. Congratulations. We'll recommend this to the Committee of the Whole this evening. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Next is 20-388, appointment of Fatou Dramé to the Revere Housing Authority.
Good evening. My name is Fatou Dramé. I am the coordinator of Revere Community School. I have been living in this city and working here for the past 17 years. I work with many residents of this city. Basically, yearly basis, I work with more than 2,000 families, working on different issues, and housing is one of the issues that I have been working on and also interested in. And with this appointment, I'm, willing to share my time, my experience, and bring in the community perspective to the work of the Housing Authority and contribute as much as I can to support the work of the Housing Authority. Thank the Mayor for the nomination and also the Council for the appointment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any Council President Keefe?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to speak positively on behalf of Fatu. She is, as mentioned, she's extremely involved in many facets of the city, but specifically, she's very articulate and involved on housing topics that come across the city. I think she'll be a great addition to the team over there, and she has my 100% vote of confidence.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other council or any members of the Councilor Novoselsky?
Here we go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've worked with Fatu when she was the executive director of down in the Hyman Towers building. And she has everything together, and she's always concerned about the clients that attend there and people all around the neighborhood. And I'm sure, and I know that she will be a great asset on the Revere Housing Authority. Great choice. Good luck, Fatu.
Thank you, Council. Councilor McKenna. Councilor, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I am in favor of this appointment. I think Fatu will do a great job. She'll be a great asset to the the housing committee.
Revere Housing Authority.
Rivera Housing Authority. Thank you.
Any other members of the council wishing to speak? Seeing none, it looks like you've really got the support of the city council behind you. I'll ask for a roll call from the members of the subcommittee, and we will vote this out favorably this evening before the committee as a whole. And again, thank you for taking the time to serve our community.
Thank you. Thank you,
Roll
everyone,
call.
for the support.
Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next is 20-390, appointment of Farag Sheikh to the Cultural Council. Is Farag present?
I don't see her here, Chairman, and I don't see anyone raising their hands as an attendee or as a panelist.
All right, we'll have to table that. Next is appointment 20-391, appointment Asma Abu Fadu to the Disability Commission.
Yes.
I see you.
Yes.
State your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Asma Abu Fouda. I live in 276 Fenno Street. I have been a resident of Revere for 13 years since I came from Egypt. I started working at the Revere City Hall a few days before the pandemic happened as a census outreach worker. But when the pandemic happened, I became the Arabic translator, and in the same time, I was still doing census outreach. And now I'm a COVID ambassador. Along with that, I'm a mother of 5 kids. 2 of them were born premature baby and have developmental delay and special need. So they need extra attention and more hands-on. I have to continue to advocate for my boys since they started the school to get them the education and service they need. So this is bringing me to why I decided to apply for the Disability Commission so I can help other families in Revere who have kids with special needs. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. Any council members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Any members of the council wishing to speak? Nope. It looks like everybody thinks you're going to do a great job, and they know of you. They're very proud to have you in our community and welcome your services to the Disability Commission. The chair of the Disability Commission would like to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to say thank you for Asma for sending in her name to the Disability Commission. I've known Asma for about 4 years. I received her resume. As she stated, she does have two children that are disabled with special education. That's how I came about meeting her about 4 years ago. I've actually been asking her for about four years to throw her hat in the ring to come, because I know she'll be a great asset to the Commission on Disabilities for the families that have children with special needs. So this was a great selection, and I'm hoping for a positive vote. She'll be an asset to the Commission on Disabilities.
Thank you very much for your comments. At this time, I'll ask for a roll call from the members of the appointment subcommittee. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Congratulations. We'll vote well favorably this evening. Do a good job for our community. Next is 20-392, appointment of Brendan O'Brien to the Cultural Council. Is Brendan available? Yes, I see you.
I am. Hello.
State your name and address for the record, please, and give us a brief description as to what you have in mind.
Absolutely. Brendan O'Brien, 25 Hall Street. I've been a Revere resident for about 12 years. And over the last couple of years, I've done a lot of work with the Burial Ground Committee and the Revere History Museum with RSCHP. And I felt I wanted to contribute to Revere in a way that would be a little more, I suppose, current in people's lives. And the work to preserve history is very important, but I felt the Cultural Council is a step in another direction. I also feel like since RSCHP, the C there stands for cultural, having somebody with a foot in both camps would be a good way to coordinate and really foster a sense of sort of synergy and collaboration between these groups.
Sounds great. Thank you for your presentation. Council President Keefe.
Thank you. And I know I've spoken on a few of these. It's really a good lineup of appointments tonight. Brendan happens to be one of them. Obviously, when I think of him and his family, the word cultural comes out. Their participation in many organizations throughout the city to better it is really well noted. So I'm very excited to see him tonight, and I look forward to his contributions to the Cultural Council.
Thank you, Mr. President. Any other members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none, Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've been working with Brendan for the last 3 or 4 years since he got involved with the Rumney Marsh Burial Ground. And if anybody goes down there and sees the clean stones and the history and what he's done to repair everything down there, it's just an unbelievable job. There's a perfect fit for him. And I look forward to have him on board and working with him further. Again, not only for Rumney Marsh, but also for the historical. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will be voting for this.
Thank you, Councilor. It appears that, Brendan, that you have the support of the council. They're very proud of what you do, and certainly your actions take place prior to what your words said. You do a great job, and I think I saw it the other night on TV. They were doing old clips, and you were dusting off the memorial sites down there. So
The Chronicle show, yes.
yeah, that's tremendous, and it gives a lot of self-pride in that community when you see residents step forward to do this type of activity for our city. Congratulations. I'm going to ask a roll call. You're welcome. Thanks for placing your name as an appointee. I'm going to ask a roll call the subcommittee. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Here, yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Congratulations, Brendan. Do a good job, and I know you will. Next is 20-393, appointment of Catherine Days to the Cultural Council. Catherine, available?
Hi, I'm Catherine Daze.
Hi, Catherine.
Hello.
Hi. Give us your name and address for the record and a brief presentation as to what you plan to do on the Cultural Council.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. My name is Catherine Daze. I live at 2 Ocean Avenue. I've been a Revere resident since, I think my son is 2.5. So 2.5 years. What are the other points to what I plan to do on the council or my?
Just a brief description. You don't have to go into any dialogue.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit nervous. This is the first time as an adult I've been on a city council meeting. So I've been a resident for 2.5 years. I moved here from Ireland with my husband, and I just plan to, I'm a working artist myself and consider myself quite cultured. So just love to devote my energy and my voice and my ears to help the city out and to keep on the good synergy that's happening here. And I'm really proud of Revere.
Sounds good, Catherine. Sounds very good. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none, I would just like to congratulate you and for taking the time to place your name in nomination. And I'm glad that the mayor sent it on over to us for confirmation. At this time, I'll ask for a roll call. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Congratulations. We will vote you all favorably this evening. And thanks again for serving our community.
Thank you, and nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
20-394, appointment of Quinn Lee to the Cultural Council.
Hello, my name is Qing Li. I live in 47 De Home Street. I'm an immigrant mother with 2 young boys. I live in Revere for almost 5 years. Before that, I was a teacher in a university in China. And after I moved to Revere, I volunteer in different organizations here. I feel so lucky to live in such a diversity city, and I hope to contribute myself to support local artists, community events, and art in school. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none, it seems like everybody's in agreement that Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Ken happens to be my next door neighbor, and she has developed.
We will not use that against her.
It's not a conflict of interest.
Well, Ken.
But she's done a great job at Costa Park, starting Friends of Costa Park and trying to keep the park healthy and clean and good for all the people to use. And this is a good opportunity for her to get deeply involved, even more so. So good job. Congratulations.
Very good. At this time, we'll ask for a roll call from the appointment subcommittee. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. We vote this out favorably before the committee of the whole. And congratulations and thank you for the opportunity to serve our community.
Thank you so much.
20-395, appointment of Stephanie Caravello to the Library Board of Trustees. Is Stephanie available?
Yep, right here.
Okay. Give us your name, address for the record, please, and a brief presentation.
Yeah, sure. My name is Stephanie Carvalho. My address is 66 Pleasant Street, Revere, Mass. And yeah, so I'm a lifelong Revere resident. I would say born and raised, but born in Boston, raised up here. Went to McKinley, Rumney, then RHS, graduated in 2019. I did a lot of like youth mentorship things in high school. I was really about community work and giving back whenever I can. And I wanted to be able to work with the library to develop better youth services across the board. In high school, me and a lot of my friends felt the need to like go into East Boston or even just like the library at Copley in order to like get the services we felt that we couldn't get in Revere. And I really want to be able to work towards facilitating better services, structures, and programming for our young people.
That's great. Thank you very much for your presentation. Any members of the appointment subcommittee wishing to speak? Any members of the city council wishing to speak? I will speak on behalf of the council. I think we're going to, your great appointment, the mayor has made to the Library Board of Trustees, and I think you're going to do a great job for our community.
Thank you.
I'll take a roll call at this time. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Congratulations, Stephanie. do a good job for our community. Next is 20-396, appointment of Yasina Aringo to the Cultural Council. Is Yasina available?
Yes, I am. Hi, good
Hi.
evening.
Hi.
My name is Jasenia Arango. I currently live on 248 Mountain Avenue with my family. So thank you for your time. I am a current public school educator to 7th graders and a lifelong resident of Revere. I attended Revere Public Schools and then afterwards Boston University as a first-generation college student. So I really look forward to bringing voice to the diversity of our beautiful city by helping bring necessary art, information, resources, and support to the underrepresented residents of Revere.
Very well. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to be in favor of this appointment, and I think Yesenia will be a great asset to the Cultural Council. I'm getting all screwed up tonight, but she'll be a great asset.
We know what you're trying to say.
Thank you very much.
Any other members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none, any other members of the council wishing to speak? Seeing none, I will speak on behalf of the rest of the council. We thank you for taking the time to give you your services, and we look forward to the great work that you have for us in the Cultural Council. Roll call at this time. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe. That isn't, I know Councilor Keefe's voice. That's not him. Councilor Keefe is absent. And the chair votes yes. We'll vote this out favorably before the committee of the whole and do a good job for our community.
Thank you.
Next is 20-397, appointment of L. Baker to the Historical Commission. L. Baker, I see you.
Hello, good evening,
Hi.
councilors and Revere residents. I thank you for this opportunity. I would love to be a member of the Historic Commission to support and celebrate the history of Revere, and by seeking preservation benefits and opportunities for the community, to have the opportunity to continue to collaborate with the Revere Society for Cultural and Historic Preservation. And it sounds like there's going to be an excellent, robust cultural committee as well. So that will leave some additional opportunities to rope in some unique cultural aspects.
Well, that sounds great. You have to build in all those playgrounds for our community. Now you have a lot of history to reveal to the rest of the future world coming to Revere. And to say how it was built by L. Baker. Any members of this subcommittee wishing to speak? Councilor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've been working with Elle on a couple of projects in the city, and I have to say that she is such a go-getter. She really gets things done, and she'll be a great asset to whatever committee she's appointed to. So I just wanted to say that. Congratulations, Elle.
Thank you, Councilor.
Councilor Janino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to support this appointment wholeheartedly. Everything that Elle gets involved in, she puts her whole heart and soul into, and she really is an asset to our community. So Elle, thank you for putting on another hat and getting involved in another way. I'm sure you'll be a great asset to this commission.
Thank you, Councilor.
Any other councilors wish? Councilor Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have known L. Baker for well over a decade. And during that time, I've always been able to observe her interest in the city of Revere. And it's very intense and it's very sincere. And recently, a few years back, she started working on construction of our parks in the city. And not only did the parks come out perfect, whether it was the Paul Revere School, Oak Island, Point of Pines, wherever it might be, she had a knack of bringing neighborhoods together, people to participate on the building of those parks. And it was just fantastic. You'd get down there any day and there'd be 50, 60, 70 people standing by putting a park together. And that really impressed me. And I know that this is a great appointment. I want to compliment the mayor on this appointment as the others. And I know that she will do an excellent job, and she will get into the Historical Society and really do a great job down there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Zambudo. Councilor Zambudo. You're muted, Councilor.
Sorry about
There you
that. For some reason, obviously, we all know Elle Baker and how much she's done for the city as a project manager for all the parks and so forth. And I think she had a little something to do with the restoration of the what I used to call the Rectory, which is our historic museum, and it's certainly, I don't know who hasn't seen it, but it's really beautiful at this point. And I know she's going to do a great job, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to Elle, I say that your reputation precedes you. You've done an outstanding job for the city of Riviera. It's my fellow councilors have mentioned all the parks you've done, the grant writing you've done, the work you did at the Historical Society building at 108 Beach Street. It's just outstanding. You've been working with the Historical Society for over a year now just to get that package put together. And I want to congratulate you for everything that you've done. And it's been a pleasure working with you with all the projects that you and I have worked on. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Visconti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say congratulations, Ellie, for the appointment. She does, Ellie, you put your heart and soul into everything you take part in, and you'll do a great job. So congratulations.
Thank you, Councilor Visconti.
Well, I had the pleasure of working with Elle in two playgrounds and parks that she built at Lincoln School and Park Fair School. So, and it was a pleasure working with her. She had great leadership, and she knew how to handle the workforce with pleasure. And she got a lot of work out of them because of her demeanor and the way she handled herself. She certainly is wonderful to work with. So I will ask a roll call at this time. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. We vote this out favorably this evening. We thank you very, very much for offering your services as part of the Historical Commission.
Thank you, Councilor Ganasso.
Next is, and lastly, is 20-398, appointment of Jason Barone Chicotti to the Disability Commission. Is Jason available?
Yes, right here.
Hi, Jason, just give us a brief, where you live and a brief outline as to what you have in mind.
Sure. So I live at 107 Franklin Ave, right at the corner of Franklin Ave and Walnut. And been living here for about 5 years now. And I've served on different committees and also board of directors for the Transit Authority in Hartford. So I think I can add a lot to the commission, as I've also served for the National Federation of the Blind and the disability services for when I was in Atlanta for the Transit Authority down there as well for advice. Looking to make a difference for them. So I've been enjoying being here. So love the city.
Thank you very much, Jason. We really appreciate that. Any other members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Seeing none, we certainly think that you're going to help the Disability Commission. The chair of the Disability Commission would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Councilor Guanasso. As you can see by his resume that I received from him, I met Jason several months back, and he had asked me if once we ever had any openings to he'd be more than willing to help. But as you can see by his resume, he's going to add a lot to the Commission on Disabilities, and I look forward to having him on it. As we revamped this commission, we're always looking to expand with members that bring all types of knowledge to the disabilities disability residents in the city. And this is going to be a tremendous asset to the Revere Commission on Disabilities. And I look forward to, if you approve him, to be an active member.
I certainly agree with that, because it certainly seems like you've got a lot of help coming on board with all the appointees that have been that are going to come forward after tonight's meeting to help do a good job in the Disability Commission and do a good service for our community. I'm going to ask a roll call at this time. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Councilor Visconti.
Yes.
Council President Keefe.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Congratulations, and thank you for offering your services to our community. And these will all be voted out favorably this evening to the Committee of the Whole. And rest assured that you'll be approved because of all the members were here present. If there's any objections, it would have been said. And thank you all for attending the Appointment Subcommittee meeting for December 7th, 2020.
Thank you. Sure.
Madam Clerk, that concludes the Appointment Subcommittee.
Okay. Do that.
You're muted, Ash.
Had a bunch of windows open. All right, we can now move forward with the regular city council meeting.